Prologue. Boost. Time to rise. Here we see Issei Hyoudou, a boy at the park with his date Yuma, and this was where the boy would meet his end, but today is different. Issei, will you die for me? Raymare asked, showing her wings and lie spear, but as she did, Issei was calm and unfazed while he took out a piece of paper, focusing and throwing it as he then turned to the fallen. So you said die for me, I say, you begged to Lord Michael as he kicked you out of heaven. Issei said, shocking Raynare as he knows a lot. Oh, and you? No, Raynare, was it? Tell me, how's Kokable? Someone wants to know. Issei smiles viciously and with bloodlust as next to Issei a red glow forms as Raynare gets pissed. Why you die, foolish pervert? Sorry, you could never touch my breast. Raynare says as the light spear gets thrown and the red glow formed a circle, summoning a girl with red hair, blue eyes, and in a cool uniform known as Rias Gremory, heir to the House of Gremory. Issei. Rias yells, but suddenly her and Raynare are shocked by one word, boost, rang out as Issei grabbed the spear, showing the boosted gear and dragon wings, and he then broke the spear like glass. Took you long enough, Rias. Now sorry I didn't die, but well, ask your brother to help next time because us dragons are hard to kill. Issei said as he smirked, shocking the two as they thought dragons were all in the underworld with less than 5,000 and none can go human besides dragon gods or kings. Let me correct myself since you're confused. I'm not sure if I'm a full dragon or half dragon. I would be a full one, but I don't care as I want to live till I did one thing. Right, Dryak? Issei said as the gear glowed and they heard laughter. Ha 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 ha, that's right, partner, you really are stubborn, but maybe you are a full dragon, maybe you're just strongest Emperor Eve met Issei. Drake said, making the two girls start trembling and go to their knees, and Fessor hearing that voice, the voice of the dragon of domination. Shut up, you overgrown lizard, I said, want to be different than the past host. Issei said, getting annoyed. Why you brat, I told you it's impossible to go to Tan and so I'm your only option. Drake said, angered, but he can see that Issei is already different than the past host. Why do you think I called Gremory? I only know all the way to 50 years ago in Supernatural, but I know about the Fallen and the Angels, and you told me about, and some devils that you fought like Surzex. TCH. So yeah, I got favors he owes. Issei said, not afraid of Lucifer at all. If he became a Mu, that just means he's a better training partner. Issei says as he turns to Raynare. Oh, and Raynare. Goodbye, bitch, and tell Cable something for me in hell. I will get my revenge. Issei said as he rushing in front of her with a blast in hand. Dragon shot. Issei said, destroying Raynare to ashes, letting out so much rage and bloodlust, but we unsure what Cable did. It must have been unforgivable. Rias, who saw the events transpired, was afraid of Issei's power, confused as she thought he was just a pervert, and last shocked how he knew her brother. Issei? Rias spoke as he turned off the boosted gear and looked at her. Yes, Rias, what is it? Issei said, calm like all his rage was hidden. How do you know? My. But before Rias could finish, she felt a surge of energy coming from Issei, scaring her. Sorry, Gremory, I cannot say, but I will help from time to time. Just have your queen fetch me. Issei spoke, calming Rias as she knew he would help, but she figured to ask him all he knew tomorrow. All right, bye. The two spoke as they parted ways. POV Issei. We see a red and green flared inside a dark and slightly broken home. Even if broken, it remained clean except for one door in the room in it that looked like it was painted red, but it has a smell to it even humans can find. Finally home. Issei says, getting out of the flare-like circle and walking over to the couch and placing his backpack on it and heading towards his room. You know, partner, the Gremory could tell all of hell about us. Drake spoke, a little serious and distrusting of Rias. I know, Drake, that's why I let out my aura, so if she does I will kill her next time I get a chance, but first is training and plan revenge. Issei spoke, entering his room upstairs and collapsing on his bed feeling sick. All right, partner, I understand, but rest up because if you see more fallen angel you will need a bucket. Drake teased his partner as Issei could only flip him off as he instantly fell asleep. POV Rias. While Issei made it back home, Rias teleported to the orc building as she needed to do something. Sigh. That was close. Rias spoke, still a little shocked by Issei's power. What was close? A seductive voice spoke, shocking Rias. We see a girl with pinkish purple eyes, black hair, and the same chest as Rias and in a Kuo uniform. Akino, that wasn't funny, sneaking up on me. Rias said as she walked to her desk as her queen was next to her. Okay, Era, what has you all shook up as a guy? Akino teased till Rias was silent and looked at her, and then spoke. Akino, it's Issei. He is the Red Dragon Emperor, and killed Fallen in one shot in front of me. Rias spoke seriously, shocking Akino, who didn't think Issei's had any gear besides a possible double critical, let alone a Longius. So what will we do? Akino spoke, now knowing why Rias was shocked, and the queen herself was now Afriad. He wants to meet us here tomorrow, so we will do that. Besides that, I don't know because he said he wasn't Aphrodite of Lucifer, and it seems like he doesn't know my brother is Lucifer now, but he said that would just make him want to fight more. Rias spoke as the two were in fear from the power of Issei, as they now had to plan things by playing it by the ear of Dragon Emperor. That's all for now, guys, and yes, this is my newest story. I know it's short, but it's a prologue, and it was supposed to upload after Crimson Creeping Nightmare, but you thought to be nice since that hit 40K. I want to make it great for you, so it will take a bit longer, and sorry about Dragon Gods Eve been looking for motivation, but I hope you all like this new series as this dragon has more secrets and power than any before. Welcome to the Orc. Boost. Stand tall. Boost, boost. Reaper will come. It's dark and flames are everywhere with the cries of a boy screaming while chalking on his own blood from his injures. Okasan. Otosan PLZ. The boy yells as a figure hidden shadows smoke and blood laughs a twisted and sadistic laugh of a killer. No. Issei yelled, jolting up from his bed and his shirt torn in half, one able to be used, and the other ashes as his left side of his chest became a crimson and black scales letting out a sizzle. Partner, are you all right? Drake asked, hearing Issei's screams and feeling his aura let out. Yeah, Drake, I am it. It was just a nightmare, Issei said, touching his chest right above his heart. That same dream again. I don't blame you for it, but maybe talking to Gremory could help, Drake said in a concerned tone, coming from the dragon who didn't trust her. Issei teased, turning to the clock and seeing it's 5:30, so he gets up to wash up for school. That was before I felt she had no killing intent. Yeah, that's it, Dryak said, quickly thinking of a line, so Issei didn't think he worried for him. Yes, sure, softy, Issei teased to Drake's annoyance as Issei slowly got rid of the scales and back to human skin, but he had one interesting trait after removing the scales. On his skin, he had an excellent build, but he had a scar that looked like a mix of a burn mark and a cut above his heart in the shape of explosive dent in him. Damn, this thing still burns, Issei said, touching it to feel if it's real like he does every day as a force of habit. Well, you are part dragon, and what gave you that mark does? Enough, Drake, Issei snapped as he cut Drake off, not wanting to remember how he was given the scar. My apologies, partner, but I suggest you get going, and this time, can you not hide yourself behind false lust? Dryak spoke as Issei looked in the mirror and grabbed a silver and gold ring he has on the sink and sighed, taking a few breaths, ready to not hide behind a curtain of lust anymore. We see to the school of Kyo Academy with many students and watched by Sona Citri and Tsubaki, president and vice president of the student council. So let's see what school is like this time, Issei says with a smirk, letting out some of aura so they know who he is as he stops using magic to hide his looks. Issei, brown hair, green eyes, but with a red jacket over his uniform. As Issei walks the gates of the academy, students notice, but don't recognize him all but Rias and Akino from his dragon aura. Girl 1. Wow, who's this, guys? He's a total hottie. Boy 1. Come on, first people like Kiba and Saji, now a new price. Get out. Boy 2. I agree, justice for the simple man. We need babes from here too. Girl 2. Shut up, perv. But man guy just screams manly and looks at 2. As they keep going on and on talking, Issei just starts to laugh in his head hearing their falsy talk. Drake, do you think they sensed me? Issei asked in his head on his way to the tree, where he can look up and see Rias when she is in her orc room. Not yet, partner. You only let out 2% of your aura, which isn't enough. How about let out 5% for a grand total of 10 for Geek Scare? Drake said in an amused tone as he and Issei both couldn't wait to see what happens. Sure, Issei says as he stops at the tree and looks up at the orc window, closing his eyes, and them smirks as those only of the supernatural can tell that Issei gain and dark and bright red aura with emerald and black sparks. Crash bang was heard as in the orc building. The same red head from yesterday feels the power giving her fear as she rushes outside. Where is that power? Is he? Rias spoke as she them looked down to see is looking up, and as he opened his eyes they were just as emerald as Drake's, and he had a smirk in his face. Hey Rias, I know you can hear me. How about you don't tell Sona about me, and I won't kill? Issei spoke with a smile, scaring the ruined princess as he then hit his aura. Oh, and took you a while. Seriously, I shouldn't have to let out 10% power just so you see me, but yet again I scared you, so we're even, Issei says, leaving to class. POV Rias as Issei went to school. Rias was in her office ready for the day, but still on edge after remembering Issei's power, the bloodlust, and the speed. It was incredible. I have to get to class. I can't worry about until after school, Rias thought, making her way to the door until she felt chill and an incredible power making her whole body feel fear. No, he sensed me, didn't he? Rias panicked, feeling the power that is like a high-class being. As she makes it to the window, she noticed Issei, and his words, and every word and his look made her sick, not just from the power, but from the fear she felt. As soon as Issei left, Akino entered the room. Rias did yo. Rias. Akino yells as Ahe rushes to her friend, who was now on the floor and who spit up some blood. "I'm fine, Akino." Rias spoke, getting up and wiping up the blood from her face. "It was Issei's power, wasn't it?" the queen asked. "Yes. I was closest, so my nerves got the better of me," Rias said as she walked out of her office, turning to her friend. "Please relax, we will talk soon," Rias said as she left for class. Back with Issei, he walked in front of his class door, ready for the fun. Knock knock. "Hello, come in," the teacher said. "Sorry, I'm teach overslept," Issei said, coaxing everyone. "Pardon, but who are you? I didn't think I got any new students," she said. "Please, it's me, Issei Hyoudou," he said, shocking everyone to the point of them screaming in disbelief. "No, you can't be Hyoudou, he's an ugly perv," a girl with pink hair said. "Yeah, he peeps on us all the time, we should know," a brunette girl said. "Hate you too, Murayama. Fuck off, Kates," Issei said, walking to his seat as he went on. "Did you ever truly see me peep? Because I was just with Motohama and Matsuda. They peep while using me as a fucking meat shield." "Fuck you for that, by the way, you Momo porn fanatic," Issei said as the baldly and glasses jump up, now knowing who he is, but they just feel hurt till they are told to continue class and sit down. 5 hours later, Issei was sitting in class after the final bell rang as he was getting angry. "Damn that Gremory do, I need to let out more flares of power to get her to have a devil pick me up," Issei thought as he knew he was going to need to wait, but hated it. No, you don't, Issei." A blonde-haired man with blue eyes and mole on his face, and a smiling, getting all the girls' attention. "Hey Kiba, let me guess, you're the queen or knight, knowing your speed and pride," Issei spoke, getting up. "Yes, I'm the knight, but let me take you to the club, all right," Kiba said as the two left, while Issei kept his guard up, ready to sense anything. As the two made their way to the orc building, Kiba thought to trying sparking conversation. "So Issei, are you thinking about joining us?" Kiba asked as Issei smirked. "Not sure yet, but I know that I wouldn't mind training in the art of swords with you, Kiba, but..." As the two were at building, Issei stopped, realizing bloodlust. "Unless that fallen harpy of your king shows me I can trust her, then frankly, I might just kill your whole club," Issei says, making Kiba begin to summon a sword, but then stop in confusion as he didn't think they had a fallen angel among them. "Fine, TCH," Kiba says as Issei struck a nerve, and Kiba put away the sword as they entered. The two made to a room that seemed a little old-fashioned looking, with a shower candles, emerald curtains, fine couches that are green and black with a table in between, then, and a few candles there too. And last, a desk and crimson chair for the president. "So this is your devil meeting place, not bad, better than my house actually," Issei said till he noticed a small girl with white hair, a black cat hair clip, and a Kuo uniform who was on the couch eating chocolate. "Why do you look familiar?" Issei asked to the girl on the couch. "Oh, Issei, this Kaneko Tujo, the school mascot, and our rook," Kiba said as Kaneko turned to Issei. "So you're the Red Dragon Emperor, huh?" she said, then turning to her chocolate. "I would be injury or offended, but I sense something from you, and it makes sense why you're quiet," Issei said, making Kaneko jump into a fighting stance, and pissed as Kiba was taken aback as he never saw her like this. "What's the matter, scared into a fight, cat? Got your tongue?" Issei spoke till he then got chills, sensing the energy of destruction, turning with Kiba and Kaneko to see Rias with red eyes and Akino with lightning. "Behave, you two, Sai." "Now Issei, first welcome to the orc, and second sorry about yesterday," Rias said. "Please, I enjoyed it. Your plan made a fallen sense die instead, thank you, and we are talk but about joining your little club," Issei said as Rias raised an eyebrow, and Akino, Kiba, and Kaneko looked at him. "I still wish to think about it, and besides, what pieces do you have?" Issei asked as Rias was confused. "I have 8 pawn, 1 bishop, 1 rook, 1 knight." "Why?" Rias asked, confused. Issei then breathed in and out, summoning his gauntlet. "Rias Gremory, I'm afraid either my partner is too strong for the pieces or his will can reject them, but that doesn't mean he won't join." Graia spoke, shocking everyone, including Issei. "Why, you lizard, why?" "I am not in the mood for games, so help me. If this your therapy for me, I will ask the past to find a way to give you therapy," Issei spoke, annoyed. "Why you?" "Listen, brat, we agreed on this earlier. Gremory could help with that dream," Drake said as Issei sighed. "Fine, but so help me, I will not make you breakfast tomorrow," Issei said as Drake then moped into gear. "Well," everyone said with a sweat drop of what's going on. "Welcome, Issei, to Occult Research Club," everyone spoke as Issei was confused with their smiles. "Okay. Well, now that you did this, can I talk Gremory? This is important. Issei spoke as everyone was ready to listen. And that's that for this chapter. One would post more, but I'm going to let 2 chapters of the story sink in, so it makes sense including Guess of Heroes Issei Hyoudou life. Until then, see ya Dragon Army. Bio, Issei Hyoudou, age 17, wielder of the boosted gear, blade, Draconius. Balance Breaker Scale Male. Might change the image. Balance Breaker Dragon King promotion. Yes, different from his devil promotions as this is from Dragon King, Heavenly, and then God. Those are his dragon promotions. Harem. Now keep in mind this Issei is not as perverted as our Issei, but he does have a lot of feelings and lust as a dragon hungry for his mates and there for him. And not for his power, but his kind soul and being. Vala Lucifer goes by Vala to most, only those she likes call her Valley, and even those she likes don't call her that as they know she is her own not by name. Irina Shidu, Zenobia Quartz, Rias Gremory, and that is his small harem as his heart beats, but yet broken and only has room to shatter. But will the dragon heal or be stuck down a path of hate and revenge? A mysterious path. Boost. We must overcome. Boost. Issei was in the Orc Rock ready to talk as he chose to join the club, but not the peerage. So Gremory, before I ask my guestians and explain some things about myself, what did you want to know that night? Issei asked as he recalled flaring his aura as Rias asked about Zex. Yes, I wanted to know how you know my brother. Rias asked a little scared as she saw a hint of amber and green in Issei's eyes. Wait, you met Lore. Before Kiba could speak, both Issei and Rias flared their power to have them know to not be involved and to show dominance. Era Kiba. Kaneko, this is their conversation, and if I'm right, Issei can kill us if we make a wrong move. Akino says quietly to the knight and rook. Issei then smirks. You're right, Himejima San. Issei yelled, stoking the two, turning his head towards them. I am part dragon, and we can hear a lot better than any spaces. Issei says, making the 3 go pale as he raised his aura and heard what they said. Rias, you're at full power, right? Issei asked. No, but close. Why? Rias asked, confused as Issei laughed. Haha, damn, you're at my level. When I was 12, I guess I know how Zex feels because he trained me only for a few years to answer the guest ion of, how do you know my brother? Issei says, smartly, shocking everyone in the room as they think. What in the dead gods and dragon gods' names happen to have Sir Zex / my brother? Train Issei. Well, asterisk calms his aura asterisk. I will be going now, but my last thing I would like to ask if I Gremory. Issei said, please, you don't need to be formal, call me Rias. And what is Mr. Hyoudou? She teased with a smirk only to have her aura be destroyed and everyone else in the room fall to the ground as Issei burst out all his power. Don't call me Hyoudou for you supernatural, it's Issei Y Drag, or in other words Issei Dragon, as I don't feel worthy enough for the surname of Drag, and you also. Asterisk Issei then raised his right arm up in the air with his red and aura glowing and changing from red and dark crimson to red and gold amber with black and emerald sparks, with his ring glowing from silver to red and silver form a handle out of the gem, which he pulled out to go just a gold and silver ring, but the aura cleared with a. Everyone scared asterisk, I get to train with your peerage and you got. Issei says as he puts his arms down to show his true power, formed from the crimson part of his ring and his and Drake's aura made personified. As the everyone looked at the blade in shock, it felt like it was made from a dragon, but how could that be? As they all thought that Issei slammed the blade on Rias's desk. Those who call me Hyoudou are the ones I kill, but leans in to whisper to Rias, I overheard something about a marriage, and I hate those who won't let people be free to choose their mates. Issei whispers as he walks to the door and grabs his blade. See you around, Rias. Issei says, leaving as Kiba follows him. Well, that was interesting. Akino says, turning to Kaneko. He seems to know more than we thought. I guess he isn't a perv. Kaneko says as the two talk, they don't notice Rias blushing after talking to Issei. Why is my heart beating so fast? Issei, Rias thought, looking at the mark on her desk. POV Issei. He was walking to the park and noticed Kiba following as he was annoyed. What do you want, pretty boy? I want to go home. Issei said, starting to get a headache. Seems like the knight is curious of your change or wanting to fight. Graia spoke to his partner, tired. Issei, I just want to talk, that's all. Kiba says as he stops behind Issei, and he stops at the fountain where he fought Rayonra as he bends down to pick up and burn the feathers. Fine asterisk snaps asterisk. Issei forms a large barrier to the point he can't be sensed, shocking Kiba, making him get on guard. Seems like you have a past, but I don't want others to feel pain about their past. I do. Issei says, summoning his blade again and turning to Kiba. This blade is Draconius. When I made my promise to my brother and my mother and father, this was formed. Issei says as he takes off his jacket, scaring Kiba as his arm has amber cracks and red scales from shoulder to wrist. Issei, what is that? Kiba asked worried. My arm, it's a pain in the ass to grow back an arm from human to dragon, but if it means I live, it's worth it. Issei says as he grabs his jacket and walks to Kiba. Can Jay trust you? Issei asked. Kiba was shocked at hearing Issei's voice so numb. Yes. Kiba said as Issei gave him his sword, but the knight could barely hold it. That blade is made from flames and other things. Issei said as Kiba summoned his sword. Here, Issei. Kiba said, giving his blade to the man, but he put his hand out. Kiba, I can't, it's your blade, and I knight without it is like a knight with no pride. Issei as Kiba smiled. Thanks, but my gear is sword birth. I can make any kind of sword as long as I have the magic for it, but this sword was the first one I crafted. It devours light from fallen and priest when they fight us. Take it, dragon. Kiba joked as Issei smiled, reaching into his pocket. All right, here, catch. Issei says, throwing a pair of gloves. 2 of these you'll get. Why? Thanks, but what's this for? Kiba asked, giving Issei his sword back. You see those gloves I named Flame's Claw? They are in camouflage right now, but they give the holder incredible fire magic potential, maybe even dragon, and it gives them daggers. Issei explained as Kiba's eyes widened. Relax, you're not a dragon, so you'll only get 1 dagger, while with or without the gloves I will hold on to the dagger. Issei says, putting the 2 sorta into a pocket dimension. See you around, Kiba. You too, Issei. They two say their parting words with a fist bump to leave as Issei dispels the barrier. Someone made a friend told you it would be nice to join. Graia teased Issei. Shut up, you overgrown lizard. Besides, they're all hurt, I can tell, but I will be there for them. Issei says, walking home. Oh, really? Well, that's good to hear, and thanks for calling me brother. Hey, it's the truth. Issei and Drake talk and laugh as Issei makes it to his home and finally has the urge to clean some of it, and as he does, he smiles. I guess this place is dusty. Issei says, taking his jacket off to clean, and not long he smiles, having real friends. And as he cleans his place, he goes to the dining room and TV until he shakes in fear. No, leave them alone if you want me then. The sizzle breaths incredibly heavy-yak. Sigh. Issei then touches his face as he is covered in his scales in an instant, and he is sweating and crying. Issei, maybe leave these rooms, go, and you're not ready for that door. Drag says, seeing Issei's state. You're right, Drag, I just need some sleep, yeah, that's it. Issei says as he walks upstairs to bed, and the door that is always locked in red glows bright red and black under it. POV Issei's dream. We see a boy with scars and scales punching blast of red energy and using the boosted gear. Die. Dragon shot. Nothing will stop me. The boy says as he shoots THS blast and falls to the floor. You did great, Issei, this time, boosting up to 10 at 12 and destroying my blast is amazing even if I was holding back. The figure hidden in red says, shut up. I am dragon and I will not be evil, but I will show domination by getting revenge, and frankly I would say take me back to Kuo, but it's partly your fault. That happened all because of a damn war. Well, you may be a pillar leader, but the boy now known as Issei summons the gear and a pair of dragon wings, shocking the figure as his hair sticks up, flaring with his power. I am the Red Dragon Emperor, and I will kill you if you get in my way. After all, ask God, but Drag helped kill him, so fuck off, sex. The young Issei says, growling as suddenly Issei jolts up from the memory. Fuck, not again. If it's not this scar, it's his training bastards, all of the 3. Issei says, getting up to work out and eat as it's 3 a.m. Faction leader Surzex or Gremory leader Surzex, either one, since I don't know if he is a king, but to me just a rival who I will best by the name I torn away till I can prove myself worthy of a heart. Issei says, grabbing him chest above his scar, saying that. And that's the end of that. I hope you like it so far, and let me know what you think, including what you think is up with Issei. Why Drake? Say a dragon army. A meeting of rage. Boost. Time to rise. Boost. It's 4 a.m. and Issei is sleeping with his scales covering half his body. He was sweating and had a look of pure fear until he jolted up in a sweat. Asterisk huff asterisk damn it. Again, I need to get these dreams taken care of. Issei spoke, sitting and placing his hand on a soft pillow. Issei, calm down, remember, let go of those scales. And if he can go back to your trainer, you can talk to someone you trust. Drake said with a smile on his face. Oh, and have fun with that girl next to you. Well, that's mean. Rias pouts. I was worried as Kiba didn't say anything, but he seemed like he was lighter, like a weight was lifted. Rias spoke as Issei went to the bathroom with the door open. That was me, I talked to him, but thanks to you now 3 people have seen my scales. Issei says, trying to focus and get rid of his scales as we don't know who the 3rd person is. Well, I didn't think it was that bad after all. I wanted to know more about the Red Dragon Emperor in my territory. Rias says, walking into the bathroom, poking at his chest with a glare as Issei got rid of his scales. What's this? Rias asked, looking down from Issei to his chest and seeing his scar. Damn it, put this on and stop. Issei moving away from her, throwing a silver shirt at her. If it wasn't for it being the weekend, I would throw you out the window, bitch. Now tell me how did you get in? Issei asked, annoyed, as he walked down the stairs. Grabbed a spare red shirt by the stairs and put it on. It's magic, and with your power I just needed to know where your house, and then I asked my one friend. Rias said as she walked down the stairs right behind Issei, but stopping when she saw the red door untouched. If you mean Sona, I haven't spoke to her about me being the dragon of domination, but... Issei then stopped talking as he turned to see Rias by the door looking at it. Issei, it looks like this is stuck, should I? Ack. Before Rias could finish, Issei's eyes were red and emerald, and he suddenly appeared in front of her, holding her by the neck and lifting her up. Him made, but picture it without the jacket. Never open that door, you hear me, devil, Flith growling. Issei growled and spoke in dragonoic voice as his power leaked out of him, full of bloodlust, alarming all the devils in the area. So. R.Y. Rias spoke, but as she did, a blue circle and a red one formed in Issei's house, and out of it was Sona Citri and her peerage, including a blonde male with violet eyes in the front with a dragon arm. And in the second circle was Rias's peerage and a woman with silver hair and blue eyes in maid's outfit. As Issei saw them, he tossed Rias aside and looked at the blonde male and silver-haired women. Ritra, why are you here possessing a human? Issei spoke as his gear formed. Partner, that's his host. Seems your power had him take control so he didn't die. Drake spoke aloud, shocking everyone but the orc. Good point, but looks at the maid. What are you doing here, Graia? I told you after I left years ago I didn't want you to find me. Issei spoke, still dragonic and full of rage, as the woman, now known as Graia, lets out her power to cool down the room. Lord Issei, we told you that we would let you go if you didn't lose control, and this proves you did. Now Lucifer wishes to see you. Graia says, shocking everyone. Lady Graia, does my sister wish the same? Sona asked Afriad of what Issei's power means. Yes, indeed, all the Devil Kings do. Graia replied as they then heard a laugh. Haha. Really lose control? Last I checked, the city is still here. Issei spoke, calm no longer, with red and green eyes. Besides, little Rias needs to leave that door. Go. And Graia, last I checked, how did our last fight go? Issei said, bursting out his aura and Drake's. I think it was a draw, but you were close, partner. And you didn't use balance breaker or my power too much. Graia spoke as he got fired up, ready to fight. True, but I was holding back, and if it means you will come willingly, I won't anymore. However, what will you do if that gets broken? Graia motions to the door as Issei looks back and sheds a tear. TCH. Fine, let's take this to hell, but not here at the Dragon Moodens. The younglings are still sleeping. Issei said as he knew babies of all races will be asleep for a few more hours. As you wish. Wait. Rias yelled before Graia could snap to change locations. Issei, what's wrong? You seem different. Rias asked. I can tell you're hiding something. Kaneko said. Please talk to us. Aquino said as Issei gained tick marks on his head from rage. Leave him alone, this is his past. Kiba said, trying to calm things down. Please be quiet, Kiba, this is our king's and Graia's business. Sabaki said. I agree with that. Even if my host is new and am a dragon king, this isn't my business yet. Ritra said as a flare of bloodlust formed, switching locations to the Dragonlands. You know, before I cared, but now fuck no, let's wake them up, and besides, fuck off, you stray cat and fallen devil hybrid. Issei lashed out at the Rook and Queen as he and Drake changed locations. Partner, careful your arm. Drake spoke as the gear formed, and Drake had his left arm and chest become crimson and black with and sharp horn like bladed shoulder and flames and sparks forming out of his elbow. Don't worry, Drake, I couldn't care less, as they need to know consciences. Issei said, placing his right arm out as it began to slowly get covered in flames and scales reaching his elbow, but stopping there as black sparks and two flames let out in an emerald light as Issei smirked. Kiba, remember what I told you? Issei asked as Kiba remembered something in fear. Relax, Kiba, remember you're not a dragon, so you can only use one, while I, even without the dagger, will hold onto and wield the other. That made Kiba fall to his knees in fear as Issei summoned the other dagger. This is what the two look like. I hope you're ready, as round 2 won't be like how it was when I was 13. And this time Zex might need a new wife and one he'll actually fuck. Issei says with hate as he gets into a fighting stance. Very well, but if he does milk us, or a new child will be better than this mistake I love that I see before me, Otudo. Graia says with her, shedding a tear before blasting Issei with a massive ice spell, blowing everyone away but Vritra and Graia herself. Come, Graia, actually fight. Issei says as his scales melts away the ice and his dagger, aura and his and Drake's power mixed in the gear arm is melt each blast of ice and even evaporating it, giving Issei smoke screen. Ototo, where are you? Graia spoke as Issei moved, making the smoke cover the whole area as she couldn't see him, and she looked back and forth, left and right, trying to see him until she flies above, getting out of the smoke and then being stuck. I fear as she heard something behind at speeds she never seen. Boost, 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 scorch. As everyone looked up and Graia looked behind her, they saw Issei boosting the gear and his dagger and aura making an amber and black glow. Eat this, Graia. Dragon, edge blaster. Issei yells as a red dragon of aura forms behind him, and he fires a dragon shot, blasting Graia to the ground, and he rushes for a combo with the dagger and a fist full power and the dragon behind him as he crashes down on Graia, leaving her with cuts and burns while a massive explosion lets out around the area, creating a massive crater as they hear a dragon's roar. Yes, I took inspiration from the dragon fist, but with a blade-like mix in it, is slamming downwards instead of upwards. As the dust settles from the explosion, Issei is hovering above the crater, as everyone watching is shocked as Rias is crying, thinking Graia is dead, and Akino comforts her, as everyone else is in fear, even Vritra. But then Issei looks at them and smirks and looks back at the ground. Graia, get up. I know you're hiding. Besides, you aren't a hider or a coward. I thought you were stronger, sister. Issei yells until he feels a burst of a cold and bloodlust aura behind him as he moves to the other side of the crater and turns around to smile. Drag, do you see this? Issei asked. Yes, partner, looks like he got stronger. Let me help in the fight. I want a rematch after the war. Drag said as the two chuckled, while Rias looked up with fear yet a smile as she, along with everyone else, saw the red aura of Mu himself, Surzek's Lucifer, holding his wife, who was damaged to the point of being knocked out but not dead. Lucky for her. Issei. It's been a while, but Surzek let out his power in a burst of rage, shocking Issei and Drag as they feel his power. Unlike Graia, they can't wait. I will have Tio put you back in your place once again. The Mu roared as they faced each other once again, while in the background a figure in white and blue dragon armor shined. So this is the power of the red one. Even without using balance break, I got to admit I'm getting hot. The figure spoke. Calm down, partner, he's holding back. We need to see his full power. We hear from the armor as WRC, it's none other than the White Dragon Empress. That's all, guys. I hope you like it, and I'm almost done with Creeping Crimson. I hope you guys won't wait too much longer, and Dragon Army, let's roar. A deal. Boost. Burn a watt. Boost. Seal him away. Issei and Surzek stare daggers at each other, seeing each other for the first time in years as they both are full of power and rage. Rias. Shryzex yells with power, getting his sister's attention. Come up here and heal Graia. Issei is mine alone to kill. Surzek states, as everyone feels his bloodlust as Akino grabs the queen of the Devil King and brings her to the ground to heal. Brother, be careful, he. Rias yells from the ground until she gets cut off by the look of her brother's red eyes. I know Rias, I fought him before, and now here he is again, worse than his dragon. Surzek says as he takes his Lucifer cloak off, ready to fight. That's rich from you, Surzek. After all, you're just as bad as every devil and fallen I killed. Issei mocks as he knows Surzek means death. Oh really, Issei, I'm disappointed. I thought I rised you better. Surzek says. Issei snaps, his eyes changing color and the gear boosting. Partner, he crossed the line, kill him. Drag says as his AMD Issei's aura mixed and burst out. Damn you, devil. You're not my father, so shut up. Unlike you, they would have tried to save me, and it cost their lives because of you. Issei roared with a tear of blood shedding as everyone heard him from below, and even Sona was shocked as she never heard about his parents' death. I'm sorry, Issei. Before Surzek could talk, he felt pure energy and death from Issei cutting him off. Balance break for those, I lost it in flames. I cast the dream may live, but I shall form it into a curse. As the infinite means nothing to me, I burn it all away like they did me. Welsh Dragon Assault Scorch Balance Breaker. Issei and Drag yell in a merge voice as an amber glow with sparks burst out, shacking the world. The armor before the aura and power gets released. The armor after Issei's power gets released, kind of like a coating, and then gets off as transformed. Everyone was shocked by Issei's power, and most of Rias and Sona peerage collapsed from the force of energy, while Rias, Sona, Akino, Saji, Vritra possession, and Surzek were still awake. Surzek was scared, but excited as it seemed he was fighting Drag himself, but times 2 or 3 like in war, but he had to fight. All right, Issei, bring it on. Surzek spoke, letting out his power AMD, firing a blast pod at Issei, but focused to the point. It was a beam. The dragon saw this and let it hit, but he slowly pushed back, seeing how much strength was held. Thus he slowly raised his left arm to block the attack and punching through it, shocking everyone as they heard roar of a dragon from the fist. Not bad, demon, but eat this. Issei spoke, spreading his own wings in the armors to cover self as run through attack, still punching through it until in move face was Issei's foot, kicking him to the ground and rushing at him with two fists of flame and energy, punching the Mu in the gut, then leg, then face till he grabbed him with his tail, throwing him and putting two hands back the out again with more power. Dragon Amber Impact Buster? He yelled, firing two dragon shots mixing together, forming an inferno sun, which the MUH was hit by at full force. As the blast was pushing the Batoan to ground, it started to lose its form, shocking AMD, confusing everyone, especially Issei, as the Mu then broke through it, making it dust. What the hell just happened? Issei thought as his left arm then became limp and full of pain. Partner, your scales are trying to protect you by trying to contain your magic, and your body can't handle the fight. If this keeps us, you only have 10 minutes left in this form. Drake spoke in concern for Issei, even though he was proud, as Surzex was bleeding with burn marks and clothing that got holes from their attacks. As the Mu glared at Issei, he wiped the blood of his face and looked at it and back at Issei. Okay, no more games. The Mu whispered as he rushed at Issei and kicking him back, then punching his gut. Issei tried to block, but after every 5 hits, Surzex hit Issei's limb arm, causing pain and making him lose focus as the punches and kicks kept going. The Devil King added pod to the hits, breaking some of Issei's armor before bursting out his aura, unlocking a red sphere around Issei. https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=sign65VGLG25IG 0 25-35. But instead it's Issei. This is your death by my name, die. Surzex said as he began to close the sphere. AMD crush Issei. Oh fuck no. Issei spoke, pushing against the sphere, boosting to break it. Boost, 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 boost. Rang out as Issei let out his aura and his armor began to break as the sphere did too. I won't lose to a bastard. Issei roared as he broke the spear, shocking all but Surzex, and his balance breaker was broken with cracks on his chest, and only his normal left arm showing as half the leg's armor broke, and Issei's helmet only, and he was bleeding. Damn, you broke my armor. Issei said as his arm glowed, showing the scales. Boost Edge Cyclone. Dryag and Issei whispered as he dashed at Zex and hit him in the ribs and knocked him to the ground, until he felt pain as a blast of pod shot him. And he turned to see Rias with tears as Issei's armor was fully broken as he, just like Zex, began to fall. Everyone was shocked, scared and worried for the two, and Rias rushed to Issei, not believing he is a monster, and Akino, and the half-conscious Graia went to Surzex. Both were on their backs holding their wounds and trying to get up, but couldn't. Issei was having a worse time getting up than Zex, as he had been drained using the gear and boosting to many times, and now he feels the side effects. Issei. Rias yelled, getting the brunette attention as she ran to him and hugged the dragon, confusing him. He doesn't know what she is doing, but it feels nice, and he doesn't want to fight it. What are you? Issei asked before seeing Rias crying. It's called a hug, and don't do that again. You're not a monster. Don't prove them right. Rias cried, now knowing Issei is not full of rage. He is heartbroken and needs a home. Hey Red, don't cry for me. Issei spoke with a chuckle as she helped him up, and seeing Graia and Akino helping Zex up. Yo Zex, I got something to ask. Issei yelled as the Mo looked at him slowly. What? Surzex asked, trying to breath slowly. How about we make a deal? Issei spoke, making everyone raise an eyebrow as Rias held him, keeping him stable. Okay, I'm listening. The Devil King spoke to the dragon, who was just as hurt as him. How about I help Rias with her marriage I heard about, and you give me access to the Underworld's dragon home? Issei spoke, shocking everyone as he wants to be with the other dragons. What would he be planning? Fine. But my sister will live with you until the marriage cancellation plan is set and works. Surzex spoke as Issei nods in agreement until he falls to the ground asleep as Rias falls too. Guys help. Rias spoke, getting red and hot as Issei fell on her breast and is out cold. Damn, he's innocent while he sleeps. Rias thought, looking at the sleeping Issei. Alright everyone, let's go take Issei back to his home. Graia spoke as everyone agrees and teleports back. While they leave, the white dragon watches and is amazed by the power she felt. Oh boy, I didn't think the red one was able to fight him. Talk about amazing. The white dragon empress states with joy. Careful Vala, he is strong, and you might not win. Even if you use Juggernaut Drive, it would only be a close fight and nothing more. Albion spoke as he wanted his partner to stoke her joy for her rival. Okay, I won't fight, but I will watch over my love. The girl now known as Vala spoke as she dispelled her armor as she fell for the power from Issei. Vala Lucifer, I will find you one day, my love. She spoke as she left through a circle, but not before seeing a golden and red glow in the sky. POV Issei. As everyone dropped Issei off at his place and placed him on his bed, everyone who was still there, Sona, Orc, and Graia, were ready to talk to Lucifer. As Surzex came downstairs, he looked at the door with its red color falling to the ground, as he then turned to the others. All right, well, would you like to talk about? The Mu asked as the Orc glared at him, and Rias let out her power. Surzex Lucifer, is this true? Is what Issei said about you and his parents true? Rias spoke with venom and sorrow as Surzex was taken aback hearing her talk to him formal and with rage not like normal. Issei was right, he lost his parents, and it was my fault. Surzex said as he then was hit by a red and gallen blast which was Rias and Aquino with anger and tears flowing. Thanks you too. Graia, please tell them. Surzex spoke, rubbing his bruise from their hit. All right, sir. You see, Issei lost his parents when he was little and he couldn't handle the death and put their bodies, family photos and more in that room which he never touches as it hurts too much. Graia spoke, motioning to the door that was red, as now we know it's not paint, it's Issei's and Hus parents' blood drying on the door, becoming like a scaly paint that can be ripped off. All right, that explains his connection to the door, but how did you be involved? Sona spoke as Rias walked to her brother. You watched it happen and didn't want to be involved unless someone died. Rias spoke, letting out tears and rage. You could have saved him. You bastard. Rias spoke, falling to her knees as Aquino walked to her and hugged her master and best friend, calming her down. But as this went on, Issei was asleep and started to cry as he mumbled, You damned killer. He spoke as a feather in his room turned to dust. And that's it for now. I hope you guys like it, and I want you to give me ideas. Even if I might be late for a story, I will take ideas into consideration as us dragons fly together. Now have a great time, Dragon Army, and let's roar. The last Hyoudou. Boost. Stand tall. Boost. I will always be with you. As everyone was downstairs after the fight of Issei and Surzex, Rias was crying and couldn't look at either of the two in the face as Graia could have helped, but they let him become lost. But while they all were downstairs, Rias began to go up and check on Issei until Surzex saw her. Rias, what are you doing? The Mu asked his little sister. I am checking on Issei. Now mind your own business, bro. I mean Surzex. Rias spoke, not even looking at her brother, let alone calling him by title and name instead of brother or Zex. He felt hurt, but he only blamed himself. While Rias was going upstairs, she felt heat, no pure flames, and rushed to Issei's room only to see some feathers turn to ash and some on fire. What the hell? Rias spoke as Issei's left arm glowed and formed the boosted gear. Rias Gremory, come here, I have to talk to you. Drake spoke, making the devil nervous, but she chose to compile as she sat next to Issei's bed. I have something to show you since you're the only one who seems to care about my partner. Place your hand on the gear. Drake spoke as she hesitantly agreed and placed her hand on the gear. A blinding red light glowed as Rias covered her eyes, but then opened them to see she became a spirit and was above Issei's home, but it was clean and it had flowers blooming as she noticed a little boy in the yard. She slowly began to hover down to see who it was, only to show a kid version of Issei, and he had no scar or emerald eyes, which confused Rias till she heard a voice. This is the day my partner changed forever, as he never awoke the full power of the gear even if we were friends at that time. Drake spoke, shocking Rias as this was the day Issei lost it all. Issei, come here, we gotta go see Grandma for your birthday. A woman with black hair and brown eyes and a kind smile, and she was with a man with brown hair and blue eyes and glasses. Coming, Oka-san. Issei yelled as he ran to them, hugging his parents, and got in the car ready to go. While this happened, Rias was behind them and watched as she started to cry as his birthday became a curse more than anything. There's more Gremory, watch. Drake spoke as he changed the area to Issei and his parents in traffic. Oto-san, how much longer? Issei asked as he was in the back looking at his hand. Not long, my boy, just wait a bit longer. Honey, do you mind giving Issei his present? Gora spoke as focused on the road. No at all. Mickey spoke, reaching for his gift in her bag and giving it to the young boy. I hope you like it, she said as Issei opened a small box and it showed a gold and silver ring. Wow. The young boy smiled, amazed at the ring, while Rias watched next to Issei in a spirit-like form, seeing it's the same ring Issei always wears, but with no red, confusing the devil. It's been in our family for generations, it says a story to it. Mickey spoke as Issei looked up at them. It states that the ring will be connected to your soul and change color with the soul, but if I becomes black, life will change. Gora spoke to his son as he put it on his hand with a smile. Okay, so this seems normal, but what? Before Rias could continue, an explosion happened right in front of all the cars, only leaving the Hyoudou alive, but stuck in burning wreckage. Ah, Okasan. Help. Issei cried, stuck and burning were coming sun. His parents yelled, but before they could get to him, a golden spear flew past them, stabbing Issei in the chest, making him bleed as his heart was nearly turned to dust. Ah. Issei cried out as his parents tried to get the spear out, but it burned them every time they tried, but they all heard a laugh. Seems like I hit the boy, now he will die. A fallen with 10 wings spoke in the flames, and G had beating red eye scarring the boy. Rias watched as she saw Cable, the second strongest fallen, and a warmonger. As the girl looked around to see where he came from, she saw her brother in the sky above, as he saw no death straight by the fallen, and thus not worth it, causing the girl to gain rage and bloodlust until an emerald glow shined as Issei tried to get the spear out. Dryag, help. Issei yelled as his family didn't guest eye on the gauntlet and chose to defend their son. Oh, humans, really? Cable thought as the two rushed at him, but even if they tried, he punched them back, saw blood as Issei could only watch. I won't lose, I will save my son, Goru said, getting up, but then stabbed by 4 spears, causing him to get holes in his body and fall next to Issei, bleeding out and turning to ash. Issei, I love you, son, were the last words of the man, making his boy cry out in sorrow and rage as the ring started to glow black and red. Issei, stay safe. Mickey yelled as she was grabbed by the fallen and got shocked. Sorry, we will be with you, Issei. SHW spoke as Issei yelled. Okay, Asian, please, if you want me, then get me, leave them alone, please, they're all I. But Issei's word fell to Death's ear as she got stabbed and burned in the flames. Seeing this, Rias cried, knowing Issei needs people by him, but the gear glowed as someone roared. You will die, you bastard. Boost, 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 boost. Rang out as Issei broke the spear and ran while bleeding, but Cable left and Issei was alone, when his knees covered in his and his parents' blood as he cried to the sky and his body was covered in sparks. Welsh Dragon Transformation. Dryag roared as he needed to keep Issei safe now. So, he took control of Issei and went to his house and leaned on the door, covering it in blood as Issei was going through the dragon transformation of exchanging his heart for a new one. But the ring was red and silver, showing him as dragon and human, while his rage formed black sparks, as only in a few horrors he woke up with emerald eyes and crying at his family's death. They will pay. Issei cried as Rias saw Issei bleeding and in tears as she only thought, I wish I could pray or give my life away seeing how people treated you, Issei. Rias cried until an emerald light glowed, only for her to be back in Issei's room and in his bed. You're up, as you saw my memories. I'm sorry, Red, for earlier. Issei spoke in a towel only as he took a shower and saw the girl crying on his arm before moving her to his bed. I'm sorry, Sniff, I was just worried about you. Rias spoke in a sad tone as Issei walked to her. Hey, it's okay. Sai, you're the only one who really cared for me since that day. Issei said, feeling a little awkward, but was blushing seeing her, which confused the two as they talked. Well, thank you, by the way, for wanting to fight Riser. She spoke as the man's name was finally said. No problem, devils are like dragons, they need to fly free, or they will be chained and both make a future. Issei said as he got closer Rias, and she touched his scar. Thank you, and remember this, devil, human, or dragon, you will be a kind soul and a Gremory in my eyes, Mr. Drake. Rias said as she looked at Issei, who got closer. I trust you, Rias, call me Hyoudou, after all I'm the last Hyoudou. Issei said as the two looked at each other as they leaned in and kissed, and the silver in his ring glowed as Issei's heart began to beat. That's all, guys. This will be a short chapter as it's an Issei origin, and enjoy. Keep your opinions to the comments as I want to hear them. Dragon Army out. A familiar flame. Boost. Let the fire. Boost. Rise anew. Issei and Rias broke their kiss, flustered a bit by what just happened as Issei's hand glowed. Haha, not bad, partner, you're growing up. Dryag teased as the two blushed. Should at Lizard Rias sleep here? You're clearly tired after what you saw. Issei says, getting up from his bed. I'm fine, but where are you going? She asked as Issei smirked. I'm going to go train to my old place for combat. Your brother owes me that. Issei said as Rias got confused by a statement. I thought this was your place. Rias asked as Issei looked at her dumbfounded till he remembered what he said. Oh, no. I meant Surzex took me a few days after the death of my parents, and in exchange I learned many things, including having a training field to fight all out and test Mislev. Issei spoke as Rias smiled, gaining an idea. Then how about the 5 of us train together? I know a place. Rias said as Issei smirked. Sure, let's go. Issei said as he got dressed, wearing all but a shirt as Rias has it near her, but they don't bother with it. But I warn you, I won't go easy, so I suggest try to use weights or more magic first. Issei spoke as the two went downstairs to see Rias's peerage and Surzex with a sad look. What are you doing here, Lucifer? Rias spoke with rage in her voice, shocking Issei as he recalls her loving her brother and even shot him in the back so Surzex didn't die. I want to know, however, I suggest we leave soon, so pack your shit. Issei spoke as everyone BYE. Rias looked at him in shock. What? The devil and dragon asked, looking at the group. Your chest? Zek spoke as he didn't know about Issei's scar, and the girls were silent while Kiba knew about the scales on his arm, but not this. Oh yeah, Graia saw, but not the Mo figured. Fuck it, Rias, have everyone leave soon for training. You pick the place I need to Zex, and I need to ask of a favor for training. Issei spoke, confusing Rias as she looked at him. Sure, but what? Rias asked as Issei summoned his gear. Partner, allow me. Rias Gremory, 2 of your peerage members are very weak due to them being like Issei, but I asked him one night to help with the 2 in guest Ion, as one race he hates, and the other he is confused by. Drake spoke, making Rias become a mix of shock and fear as Kaneko and Akino looked down, confusing Kiba, but not the 2 redheads. Seems like I was right, but as I said. Go. Issei spoke with venom as he looked at his door as let out some power, making everyone but Lucifer leave out of his power being let out, and the Mu knew he was in for it. Everyone left to their homes while Issei glared at the Mu, spreading a set of dragon wings and leaking aura of rage and domination. So, why didn't you help me years ago? I get why when I was training was different, as you didn't want me pissed. You forgot, Drake, since you now talk. Issei roared as Dryag even was wanting to talk to him as he was glaring through the gear full of rage. Well, why? You see, I didn't know we're the red dragon until I saw you, and with human, I couldn't cause Ano the war thanks to the fallen angels and us being in low numbers. Surzex spoke as Issei glare leaking out more and more power of his and Drake's aura, now at 20%. Merged, not divided, so his max is 200% his and Drake's. Stop lying, I know you since Drake, and I tired of your lies. I overheard years ago that you wanted me to defeat Riser and be your tool. Issei yells as he then calms down and looks at Surzex, who is tearing up. Sorry, but I need to let my anger out so I won't be evil and so I can move on. Issei said as he began to leave until he and Surzex heard a bang from outside. What the? The 2 rush outside to see burn marks and claws too, as the bang was from the large flame now in the middle of the streets. They could tell that it's not normal as it was black and purple. This confused the 2, and as Issei asked Drake, he didn't even know until they got circle near their ears from Rias. Issei, can you hurry to the mountains, let's just say. Rias then went quiet as the 2 heard a roar from the circle, nearly making their ears bleed. Okay, Rias, what the hell was that? Issei yelled until he smelled something not far. Hey, the mountains, how far? Issei asked as he knew something was close. Not far if you fly or run or teleport. I saw about 5 minutes. Rias said as Issei facepalm and regrantly decided to help as Surzex sent him there. POV Mountains. Team Rias was in the middle of walking UO the mountains as they heard the roar, and Rias got off the call with Issei as C felt a lot of power. Is that Issei? Kaneko asked as the Rook was worried. No, I just called him, so let's go up and help. Rias said, but as they went towards the top of the mountain, they saw a black flash speed past them towards the roar, and not long later Issei appeared. Okay, here, ready to. Issei then saw everyone glaring at him, confused. What'd I do? He asked as Akino blinked and answered, so that wasn't you running past us? Well, fuck. Akino spoke as Issei was confused but took a sniff in the hair and smelled that same feeling again. Okay, hurry, come on, I got a bad feeling. Issei spoke as everyone rushed to the top only to hear screams of a stray devil in pain. And as everyone got up, they saw a stray with bite marks, cuts, burns, and a lot of blood and no head. Everyone, even Issei, was shocked by it until they heard footsteps and got out their gear, weapons, and magic instances to fight, turning to the noise. I knew I felt a familiar presence, long time no see. Issei Chiron. The voice spoke as stepping into view was a figure Issei seemed confused by, and Kaneko had no clue who this was. This was supposed to be after who? But I forgot I was already writing, so this should be good for the readers. As the girl stepped out of the shadows, no one knew her, but she had the blood of the stray on her hands, blade, and face, scaring all but Issei as he smelled the air again and knew this sent his shock. Is that you? Sorry for the cliffhanger, but guess the person as this story might kept even more fun. Dragon Army out.